Well, good evening, Kumi. This has been a growing problem for a number of years, but now the situation is becoming dire for some departments. If some of these smaller departments close, this can mean longer response times and fires becoming more dangerous. In a fire like this, every second counts. The shortage of firefighters is nearing crisis levels in parts of the capital region.
It's a big commitment from your family, from your life, that you guys sit there and go, okay, for the next 6 months, I'm gonna go to class 2-3 nights a week to be a volunteer fire person and give back to the community, but I'm not gonna get compensated for it.
Dozens of volunteer fire departments across the area understaffed, some of them even forced to close down.
This is a coast-to-coast problem with these departments. There are departments going out of service at an alarming rate. That means they have to be absorbed by their neighbors. That just puts more stress on those neighboring departments to have to cover that district.
But it's not just the volunteer departments. Paid ones are struggling too.
Our problem is, as people retire and the positions open up, it takes about 15 months to get someone fully trained and certified to go to the line.
13 Investigates headed out to the Broad Albin-Cannieto Fire Company in Fulton County. They, along with so many other volunteer departments, are understaffed.
We're actually running with 38 out of 60. So you take that 38, and it sounds like a lot of people, but we have to cover 24/7, 7 days a week.
Brian Cornell is head of recruitment at the department. He says the hardest thing for them as a volunteer department is making sure they have enough firefighters to respond during the day, while most are at work.
If we get a call, they're gone. They're out of the area for the day. So our response around here daytimes takes a big hit, and it does in most communities.
You guys are probably more likely to have more firefighters in the middle of the night, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Nights and weekends, we're pretty decently staffed. Daytimes, I don't want to call it scary, but it's a little nerve-wracking for those of us that are around.
Some fire departments across the country are even closing down, and that's affecting communities here in the capital region.
Hopefully we don't see in this area more departments closing like Fort Johnson, but if we did, I mean, doesn't that mean longer response times?
Absolutely does. Absolutely does.
And that's dangerous for those people.
That becomes very dangerous. So, you know, we don't like to get to where we try to like threaten the public that, well, you better do this or you're in trouble, but it really does come back to the fact that, you know, let's all help out here.
But it's not just the volunteer departments. We sat down with Schenectady Fire Chief George Burns, who says even a large city department is affected.
We're at 120, but we're really running about 14 people short right now that are answering the calls.
Both Brian Cornell and Chief Burns say those who look at firefighting and say that's not for me should take another look.
I can't imagine myself doing anything else.
Some people are a little bit intimidated by the thing about running into a burning building, and I get that. And while that's an important job of firefighters to go in there and put the fire out, not everybody can do that. But there's a job for everybody.
But we do get to help people, and there is no better feeling in the world than helping someone that needs the help.
So what can be done? Albany County Executive Dan McCoy recently announced his plans to build a multi-million-dollar fire training facility in the hopes this will get more people to become firefighters.
If you have the training facilities, it makes it fun for people, right? So you can introduce high school kids to this and bring them down for a day of training, see what it's like to be a firefighter.
Why do you think there's been this change in like demeanor? And obviously we've seen it in the staffing levels.
Someone on the outside, it's hard for them to meet them requirements to be an active firefighter on working a full-time job. So it's like, but then you don't want to pull back the requirements because it's about safety. So if it's about safety, then you can't sit there and, well, if you're a volunteer, you don't need the same training as a paid person. It doesn't work that way, but it's harder to get someone trained.
McCoy is a former firefighter himself. He says you can feel the sense of community while being part of a firehouse. And even though most firefighters do wish they were being paid for being a volunteer, some of these small rural towns just don't have enough money for it. For 13 Investigates, I'm Zach Richter. Kumi, back to you.